This is Dr. S. Subbalakshmi, an assistant professor in the Department of Mathematics, SNS College of Technology. This is a lecture video series on the course Probability and Statistics, and now we are on to the topic Probability and Random Variables. Today we are going to see the definitions of probability, and in the previous classes we have learned the types of events and the definitions regarding the terms of probability as well. Now we are going to see what is a probability. Probability refers to the randomness and uncertainties. So randomness and uncertainties have been explained in the earlier classes, and now we are moving on to the backbone of probability, which is called as axioms of probability. So moving on to axioms of probability, axiom number 1, which is called as probability of A is greater than or equal to 0 for any event A. So it says that an event and its probability is non-negative at all times, which means its probability should be greater than or equal to 0 at all times. As we have already seen, the probability of events lies between 0 and 1. This will be the first axiom, which is called as the probability of A is greater than or equal to 0 for any event A. Moving on to the second axiom, the probability of sample space is always equal to 1, where S is called as the sample space. So what is a sample space? A sample space is a result of all possible outcomes which is mentioned in this set. So that particular set is called as a sample space in which all the possible outcomes is represented there. So all possible outcomes representations probability will be equal to 1 at all times. That is what your second axiom is. And for the third axiom, we have to have n set of disjoint events like A1, A2, etc. till An, and we have to take the union of all those things, and we have to take the probability. Therefore, probability of all the disjoint events A1, A2, etc. till An is equal to the probability of A1 separate probabilities, and we are going to add up all the other probabilities also till probability of A. This is what your third axiom is. When you are making a union of all the disjoint set and taking the probability, this will be equal to the separate probabilities, and you are going to add them. Both the values will be same. These are the three axioms of probability. First one is P of A is greater than or equal to 0. Second one is P of S is equal to 1. And third one is the union of all the probabilities is equal to separate probabilities by add them. This is what the axiom of probability is. Now we have the formula to find the probability of an event. So formula goes like, the probability of an event is equal to number of favorable events divided by the number of exhausted events. In the previous classes we have learned what are the favorable events which are given in the question. A number of exhausted events. Exhausted events are the set of all possible outcomes. So that is what your favorable events and exhausted events is. Now we have the formula as probability of an event is equal to number of favorable events divided by number of exhausted events. Now we are going to perform a problem using a student here. Please come start. Say the formula once.
Probability of an event equal to number of favorable events divided by number of exhaustive events.
So the problem is, in tossing a coin, the probability of getting a head is given by dash. So in tossing a coin is an experiment. What will be the possible outcomes for tossing a coin? What will be the possible outcome for tossing a coin? It will be either head or tail. It will be either head or tail. So now we are going to find the probability of getting a head. What will be the number of favorable events here? Just write the number of favorable events. Number of favorable events. Number of favorable events is getting a head only once, which is equal to 1. And number of exhausted events is 2, which is head and tail. Number of exhausted events is which is equal to 2. Therefore, the probability of an event as per the formula is given by probability of the event is equal to, write it. Probability is equal to what is the number of favorable events? 1. On the numerator we should write 1, and on the denominator we should write 2. Therefore, the probability of getting a head is 1 by 2. Thank you. Now we have one more problem on the formula of probability. We have Mukesh here. In throwing a die, the probability of getting a number 5 is given by dash, which is your question. In throwing a die, you have 6 probabilities, 6 possibilities die. What are the possibilities here? 6 possibilities. What are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So number of exhaustive events will be 6. How many number of exhaustive events right here? It will be 6. And what is the question given? You are going to find the probability of getting a number 5. You are going to find the probability of getting number 5 alone. So what will be the favorable events? Number of favorable events? 1. Only 1. So you have to write it as 1. Now as per the formula, what is the formula? Read below.
Probability of an event equal to number of favorable events divided by number of exhaustive events.
So what is the numerator one? Number of favorable events. What is the count?
1
On the numerator we have
divided by 6.
1 by 6. So this is the probability of getting a number 5 in throwing a die. The probability of getting number 5 is 1 by 6. This is how we perform a problem on probability of an event. Thank you.